was like when this all started, it was like it was just sex, you know. It was just sex. I wasn't a part of it. I seen it too many times in the street. I seen it'd be like this season to come around where wives will lead the husbands or vice versa. Or they'll cheat on them. Or a bunch of women to get together, or a bunch of people get together and just start having this freak fest. And I guess it'd be like sex rituals, I guess. It'd be that season for sex rituals. But they don't tell people the outcome of it. But anyway, one thing I learned when it comes down to sex, if you think somebody gonna tell you any different when they done already got out there and caught something, then you highly mistaken. You highly mistaken, because I don't know what that is, but I know my days of living on the block, there were many times where people would re-navigate folks, and I'd be like, why you send them down that way? You know, that person got this and that. Why you do that? And I'd go catch them. And then I started getting in trouble for it, trying to help them. They was like, he a hater. I ain't no hater. I was trying to save him. I stopped doing it. Next thing you know, the disease just grew and grew and grew and grew. The thing about it, though, you can heal these diseases, man. You just got to get away from these people. And you got to really be serious about healing yourself. I mean, you got to be with somebody that's healed. But that's one thing I know. A lot of people, and then the misguiding of energy. Read that. Don't never. It's something about read. I feel, but I could be wrong. One thing God probably hate more than a lukewarm person is somebody who re-navigate energy. When you re-navigate energy, you playing God. And all these people got contaminated when they got re-navigated. Most of them, they might not admit to it because it's probably something they got rid of, or it was something, whatever. But they caught something. And so when you re-navigate, first and foremost, who is the energy that they re-navigating you from? Is that energy a high vibrational being? Is that energy a high It's a lot of laws of nature that goes in with this. And if you're not going by them laws of nature, that's why I say people who steal my stuff and put it out there, you warping the whole complete energy. You just messing it up. It ain't worth stealing. Stuff that I've been teaching, it wasn't even worth stealing. It wasn't even worth stealing because you were going to automatically decapitate. It wasn't going to benefit you like it would have benefited me. And by it benefiting me, it would have benefited you. Y'all had too much hate in your blood, man. And what else? So when they re-navigated the energy, if this is a high vibrational being, then your chances of going to a non-high vibrational being is going to be very high, because you should know better. Because if you was going to this high vibrational being, you are a high vibrational being. So you shouldn't have failed so easily for that. What they do, show you some pictures and stuff. Y'all shouldn't have. All evil. All that was dark. And when you're dealing with these genes, when you're dealing with this kind of energy, you got to understand evil. You got to understand darkness. And you got to know it. You can't just, they talk good. And he said this, honey, you talk with your friend. He said this, honey. I'm telling you, where I'm from, I mean, everywhere I done been, the people that I met, the people that got the most serious stuff that can pass it on to other people are beautiful. All of them don't look bad. So, it's like, you call your friend, oh, he said this about him. He said, you know what? I was just looking at him. Then they said he got this attitude. And they said, I ain't got nothing. All the people y'all dealing with do, though. If they re-navigate you when I'm out the equation and no longer room for them to talk about, and no longer a conversation for you to have pillow talk discussions about, they're going to show you the real them. Because the relationship is no longer interesting. See, that's something else. Like, if you get with a man that I hate on another man with you, then one, y'all got a common ground that's not healthy. You don't want to deal with a man that's always talking about another man. That's low vibrational. You know, that's another thing you learn in the street. You don't want to do business with them kind of people neither. They got their own little group. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these people was re-navigated and swapped the energy up, and they did the little device thing and all. That's why I stopped paying attention to it. I left that alone. I left all that alone. Left all that what was it? Because it was doing too much. Like, let's say I was supposed to. There's two Michaels out here. We both, they say, gave up on the mission when it come down to this game, this test. It was because in my case, I don't know how to speak for the other Michael, but I'm talking about Michael the Archangel. I'm talking about a vessel. Let's just say a vessel. In my case, I wasn't looking at it like that. In my case, I was looking at it like, okay, they re-navigated these women. And these ain't only women; these are angels, a lot of them, and they contaminated them somehow. Stop, because they would utilize these devices, and the stuff supposed to go to me. And eventually, I stopped getting those feelings and stuff because it was moved. They was moving the energy to somebody else who wasn't me. And eventually, they successfully did that. It was like the more I played with their test, the more that energy went to somebody else, and all the other energies. And I didn't know that. And I said, if I would have knew that, I wouldn't even did it. It's one thing trying to hurt me and do something to me, but I ain't finna let you hurt everybody else. So it's like, and then I seen all my life friends that knew, and after they done got caught up, they'll let their friend go get caught up. You gotta get out of that, bro. Y'all gotta get out of that. I'm telling you, I used to have to go catch people, and some of them I didn't get to catch. These people would throw parties, and they would bring the main girls that got that pack. And them girls are very freaky still for some reason and don't care. And bro, I go out of my way to try to catch these cats before they get in that party and get caught up. I might not get there till the morning time. All of them done fell off. All of them done fell off. And we might have been doing business together. I stopped doing business with them. I just stopped doing business with them because they could possibly get grimy. They, it's a slum. They might try something slick. So I just stopped dealing with them. Because it's like, they might have been real at first, but when somebody do that to them that they thought was real, and especially if they're not from that neighborhood, they're gonna do it to everybody else. So it's just one bad decision after the next. That's why I told everybody I'm coming this energy, man. I hate that. I know a lot of y'all got caught up though. I ain't trying to, it ain't funny at all. I know a lot of people got caught up. But ain't nothing like your health. I've been here my whole life. And they used to do it to me, but by the grace of God, I was protected by God. And I'm a healer. So it was like, as long as I was taking care of myself, I was healed ever since I was a kid. So over time, I learned how to say no on my own. When I was growing up, they come around me, oh yeah, and my body will tell me if it's okay or not. And I say, go on, somewhere, go on. And they be pretty, Or I say, we could chill, we could chill. And You know, back then I smoked and all that, and drank. You can chill, relax if you want to. And they might be like, well, I'm gonna go hang out with such and such, and I'm gonna come back. They're like, that's cool, you can do that. They might come here, relax, take a shower, whatever. And then, you know, I didn't do all that though. Over time, I learned to stay to myself and quit caring. But because it was just too much of it. It was like somebody was. I was saying people was getting mad because of they caught it, but eventually over time I found out that a lot of back then there was racism involved too. So they would get these people caught up. A little racism and a little hate from the other people. So they would get these people caught up and they'll tell them, you know, go back to your hood. They did it to you, whatever. I guess I don't know. Somehow they're programmed to hurt some more people and make them feel like it's okay to do it. And I seen time, man. I remember one time. I don't know this for sure. But I was talking to the girl, wasn't hollering. We got good acquainted with each other. We got really good friends. And it was these guys working at this place. And these guys had full-blown AIDS. And I would go there and chill at times. And this girl, this one day she shrugged me off, pushed me off. I think my family did it somehow, maybe. A family member did it. And because one of the family members, or a few of the family members' job was to make sure nobody liked me or loved me or cared for me. They had to bring somebody to me that was already burned up. So, but this particular girl, nobody really knew like that. And she was a sexy girl. She was a sexy woman. But her mind really wasn't. She didn't realize how good she was. She had low self-esteem. So one time they shut down the job, and I went over there to hang out at the job, and they was in there with that girl, and I never talked to her again. It was like, man, but I couldn't get in, and they done took her in there, shut the job down, and they mutilated that girl. I've seen a lot of women get mutilated. It's like, it's miserable. I live with guys, so it's not miserable to me. But I would love to move me from this box to another box. It's too much. It's too much. Like for a person like me, it don't hurt me to make me stay by myself. It hurt me to see you hurting yourselves. It hurt me to see that you don't care for yourselves. It hurt me to see you trying to hurt me. You think you're getting away with hurting me and getting money, but you're hurting yourself. I'm healing. You put me in a situation where I look like this and this and this, but I'm healing. I feel good, look good, I'm good. But y'all not healing. It don't matter what you got. If your body, why gain the whole world and lose your soul? If you lose your soul, your body ain't gonna react good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you get that money and your body ain't good. What's the point? What's the point in it? This thing go up and down with my emotions, I think. That's weird, bro. It's like if I upbeat myself. But whatever. Anyway, it's like, and then these women, you gotta be, when you're a woman, you gotta be strong. Like, I learned from women. I learned a lot of the game from women that were dominant in the game. And they didn't follow the crowd like that. They followed the crowd into detouring themselves when they seen which way the crowd was going. And the crowd said, this person ain't nothing. Hey, maybe that person is exactly who I need to talk to. I'm gonna go see that person. You know? And Some of them girls back in the day when I was young, they'd come get me, and they just, we'll ride and we'll talk. Like, well, who is that? What about this person? What about that person? And I tell them, they'll be like, you know, they did this, and they said this. They did this, said this. I said, no, that person ain't good. That person ain't right, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and they be thankful, bro. And me and my brother KO was alive then, Nick was alive then, so we would be together. And we'd be like, nah. And they throw it off. And they do. And then they, you know, later on they'll be like, man, I appreciate that. They'll leave here and they won't come back, bro. You know, they'll miss me. They'll tell me you need to leave. But, you know, I had a job though. After this, I can go though. It's almost over. Cause it's like, when it comes down to the test, let's say I'm Michael the Archangel. I can do the test. I can heal that, whatever that is. And we were looking for something in particular, I think. But they kept on doing imagine. It was like, well, God was like, stop. Stop, it's evil, there's too much evil involved. Just stop, don't worry about it. So it was over. There's something in particular we were trying to get that I wouldn't say right now. I'd probably say later on. But it was something, and it ain't for everybody to get. But they kept bothering somebody. It's like the incarnation went wrong. And it's like a main character in this situation that was supposed to be helping us somehow ended up on the wrong side of the field. And that individual, that's another one they mutilated. And they just mutilated her to take on her own tree. That particular individual, the people that she got caught up with and she let mutilate her, they family members on the other side. I told her this. She gonna know who I'm talking about when she hit it. I told her that. She over there with her own family members, you know what I'm saying, on the other side. Over here they ain't, but on the other side they are family. And they mutilated their own sister or something. Didn't even know. How do you know the family member? Because the spiritual being, that spiritual being is in the same family with the spiritual being. They ain't supposed to be together. Like, you see the physical, okay, and you know that it ain't about the physical, it's about the energy inside of the physical, okay? But do you know the energy inside of the physical? I do. So that'd be that right there. Jesus come up to you. When Jesus went up to the dude and said, Legion, what are you doing here? Jesus knew that was Legion. Legion is a energy that holds many demons. So Jesus seen this person and he knew Legion is an entity. One body actually. You know, one energy. But it holds many demons. Jesus stood there and said, Legions, what are you doing here? And you know, he was scared. Oh, what you doing here? You know, that's how it like that. It's like that. Yeah, you just gotta know the energy, and you know, Catholics and stuff like that know what I'm talking about. I mean, high-ranking popes and stuff, they know what I'm talking about. You just know the demon, you know the energy that possess these bodies, and I just know it somehow. And but yeah, you gotta be careful. Like, if your friend or somebody been contaminated, then once they get you contaminated, did they get you to participate in sacrificing and hurting somebody? See, them signs are all going to hell right there. We going to hell. We want you to go to hell with them. Like going to prison. When you go to prison, street cats know what I'm talking about. You go to prison, everybody going to prison with me. I get caught up, everybody going. It's like that with hell too. I'm going to hell, everybody going. And once you get caught up in the games, you just gotta be careful, y'all. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And some of them knew me. Like, I know women who was helped. I know women who got renavigated, jumped on the team who renavigated them, then renavigated their friends. Wicked. Just so they all have the same problem, the same issue to talk about. And that's why I say you do these sex rituals, or you do this you do all this sex scenes or whatever, but nobody tell you about the outcome. You should see it in the movies. When you see all these people that do this in the movies, they look like witches, bro. They look like something they write about them. Why would you want to do it? What made them do that? What made them look like that? What made them act like that? Like Cinderella family member, all looked like witches and warlock. What made them act like that? The low vibrational stunts they were pulling.